Right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to MKU Primetime. It's been a good while, but we are now back. Sorry for the slight delay. We're here now, though. Hope you all had a good couple of matches. Just come out from second matches. World Friend Star vs XI today, though. I'm not alone, though. I am joined by Knight.
I am here, but yeah, I'm excited too. I'm really trying to get up to speed. I mean, literally everyone's kind of coming in right after their matches. My mind's like going at 100 miles an hour. That's what literally we were just talking about our results. You know, I think Squidz and I both went 1-1, and we hope that you obviously had a good success. Your matches were running smoothly, but we are here. We are going to be watching XI versus World Friend Star. And I also do want to say, if you're watching us now over from juked.gg, this is going to be very interesting. It's 6v6 competitive Mario Kart, and these are two of the top teams in D1.
Yeah, most certainly. So obviously we've got World Friend Star back-to-back Division 1 champions. So we'll have to see if they can make it a triple, a turkey, so to say. And then obviously we've got XI as well. Now, XI have been completely vacant from the Mario Kart competitive scene for the past, I'd say the past year, really. They're mostly well known for being a top team in 8U and perhaps the start of MK8D. And then, as I said, they took a little hiatus, but now they are back for Season 10, playing in Division 1 against World Friend Star for this first week. Going into Race 1, we're going to RWS tonight.
We are, so this is likely going to benefit, I'm not sure who picked it specifically, but obviously some team has some top spots there. And we're going to see the sea of Waluigi players coming into play here. It looks like there's a Roy as well. I believe are we on board with Power?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, cool. So that's just good to know, Power for the XI. So yeah, just kind of right now for him, he's just mired in the back, didn't get an item. I mean, we're kind of waiting for this like snake of players to kind of stretch out and just kind of see who can kind of take control at the front.
Yeah, as you said, we've got a sea of Waluigis right now, so it's going to be quite hard to see who is who on the minimap. We do see a Roy here and there, but we do see Valor being taken out in the cut by a green, I think. You see a bomb going off. I did connect with someone. It connected with Strike. Power going to be greened as well, so that is NATO holding a golden in 12th. It might be a decent amount of World Friend in the top right now, although we do see Swift in 10th.
Yeah, you're seeing about the leader breaking away, and now it is kind of just more of a snake. There was a 7-player breakaway, but now everyone's kind of catching up with the power items from behind. But speaking of power, though, pretty good toolkit in his arsenal of items with the star, with this bullet as well. So activates the star at the very least, and his teammates are right there, so they went a little bit wide for him. Strike now in the star as well. Swift has some fire. Actually, that's a star in his hand, and we're gonna have to see. There's probably gonna be a little bit more movement before this race concludes.
Yeah, we do see one by one more of XI being taken out. Is that an XI bottom 4? I think it is, because I do believe that might be NATO. Actually, no, NATO was a Roy. Never mind. We do see someone obviously going for a shock here. Power's going to be using his build. He's going to be powering himself up to 3rd place right now with triple shrooms, so he's going to be perfect to take the cut right here. I think this is a top 3 for World Friend. Oh no, geez, those greens.
Great job there, yeah. That was, I think they were reds, but great job there not to get hit by them. So it's going to be Power 3rd, Pyrax 2nd. Guessing that might have been World Friend up in 1st. Yeah, that was Mars. So top 2, 5, 7, 8, 11 there for World Friends.
Of course, for some reason, my mind just thought that Power was on the side of World Friend. That's my bad. That's just me being stupid.
I actually was trying not to do that myself, to be honest. So it looks like it's going to be actually plus 14 for XI. That can't be right. I think it's the other way around. It's plus 14 there for World Friend. So our calculators are on, but the score on your screen is right. Or it's just me not being able to read. So that could also be it too.
It's definitely a winning race of World Friend, since they got top 2, 5, top 2, 5, 7, 8. That's most definitely a winning race. As you said, a plus 14. They're going to see if they can capitalize on that winning race and keep some momentum going through to race 2 and 3, perhaps with DHC, Hyrule Circuit. Meanwhile, XI gonna opt to go for Excitebike Arena, which it is going to pick.
It is, and this is going to be interesting too, especially getting track like this kind of earlier on. Can kind of sense why they want to do it. They want to be able to control likely the front and the back, and hope to, you know, obviously break in to set themselves up for race 3 with better spots. But again, I mean, this is crazy because there's the shortcuts in Excitebike, so anything can really happen.
Yeah, we do see someone's holding a red. That's going to be Pyrax, who Power's going to have to watch out to not take that. He's just going to opt to run away into first place via the cut. Red's going for someone. I think that went for someone on the side of XI. We did briefly see Thomas in second as well, which he does still seem to have. Zinc creeping up into third place in the meantime. Ballet, I think, has a Shroom in fourth. He's going to be coming up too. Yeah, but oh, he's going to get dragged by Power. Very nice. There's a bomb as well. Not quite
fancy footwork there by Power on the bomb. This is still at least an XI top 2. I think that might be Lanfy there in the German flag. Or that's Roble, actually. Roble top 3 here for XI.
Yeah, oh, not for long, though. The green and the blue coming. Oh, actually, no, still the top 4 for XI. Power still holding on to a top 4 spot, and the blue not doing too much damage, considering that XI are just all behind his teammate there. So they're here to support him. We'll have to see if they all start to shroom up. We do see Thomas, Lanfy, and I think that was Valor in fourth. Lanfy's going to pull out the plant. I can't remember who that... I think I took out Zinc. Power's going to have to watch out. He's going to get hit by fire, I believe. You could see the particle effects. Well, what does NATO have in last, though? Because he's in last by quite a bit.
But I think it's good that he's in last because Warfriend's coming up. There was that top 4 initially for XI. I think Zinc might be in first or was in first.
Yeah.
Because we saw that players were getting hit left and right. You see Mars, you see Lampy. I'm not sure why I thought he was German, so I apologize. But there's the shot. You saw the sus stopping by the box. This is going to be huge here for Power. He's likely going to get about 8th out of this, I would think. And he does. Or no. Well, that was a little interesting. He ends up getting 10th, but XI able to get 4 out of the top 5 along with 10th and 12th. So a really solid response back from them.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's like even though a decent amount of Wolfriend did manage to chain into be shocked into boxes there, the damage had already been done, and XI were kind of riding off into the sunset with their squad who were just about crossing the finish line. So as you can see there, 1, 3, 4, 5 for XI. It's going to be a huge swing. It's only going to be a 4-point deficit for them now.
Yeah, I actually think that was a really solid race the way that XI handled it, just because of the fact that NATO was in the back. You saw all of them up in the top 4, which is a little bit concerning, like in the middle-ish part of lap number 2, knowing that the other players are all behind you coming up with items, and they can kind of pick you off or just take the cut. Because you're likely not going to get that circulation up front that you need. But NATO able to hold it together in the glue, like glued himself in the back, and players just kind of did the right thing. They kind of pump faked themselves out of the spots, got the items they needed, and passed them at the end, and had a couple guys up front too to keep the stronghold up there. And now we're going to be going into RMC.
Yeah, looking like it might be one of those starts for the wars where we just see a lot of tracks that favor bottom spots. Obviously, we did see RWS race 1. We see Thomas, Lanfy, and Power who are opting to stay back a bit, with Zinc as well. So that'll be 2 on each team. You see NATO up in second right now. Not sure who that is in first.
You got to think that there's going to be a little bit of WF up there, but we're still seeing players kind of going back and forth. I mean, Lanfy's in the stars, Zinc went back. A lot of players here, 9th, 10th, and 11th, getting these power items as expected. And Worldfront also kind of just in those middle spots. So you got to think that maybe XI is running this. You see Dax there in 4th and others up front. So kind of curious to see how Power's going to play this situation. Probably changing the star into the double and use the golden, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's going to be holding into this golden a little bit. A banana behind his golden, that's not really optimal considering how... That's a shock! Well, that's a lot of dodges. We see Dax coming up. Also seeing Lanfy coming up as well, though. Now, whose shock was that? I think it's
Worldfriend.
Yeah, it's potentially it's quite hard because if you look at the mini-map, the pack is so tight right now. It's just a bunch of Waluigi. You see NATO coming up on a bill where he's going to pull out triple shrooms. There's another shot!
Oh, double shock! They might have both, who knows, but you could throw a blanket on the entire pack. It's just going to be a scrum now for these top positions. Power, unfortunately, getting hit out, and I feel like this is literally what just happened to me in my last match, but what can you do?
That was, yeah.
Oh!
Top 5! Top 5 for World Friend. I was just about to say before they crossed the finish line, that was most definitely a World Friend shock, the second one. Because all of World Friend was shocked into boxes, and XI had already crossed them.
This is why I think we need a replay feature, because what I'm still getting at is clearly that did favor World Friend on that second shock, but there were at least 5 to 6 players that were beyond that final item box set. So, and there was a clear mix too. It wasn't just XI to where WF had it. Like, some WF players took the L and still managed to circumvent the rush of all those players with that item box advantage. But well done. Yeah.
It's a perfect spot to be in as well, with the pack being so tight during lap 3. But XI having the majority of the top spots with Wolfren having a shock, it's perfect because as we just saw demonstrated there, if you use the shock once XI passes the item boxes, then Worldfriend can just be shocked into the boxes and say, thank you very much, give me all those shrooms, and just mush them up into the top spots at the end.
Yeah, and it looks like in the chat too, they're confirming that both were WF shocks, so well done. You know, if someone had that shock in pocket, waiting, having that first shock go, dodging, and holding on to the second one. But RMP, Music Park, is where we're going to be at here for this next race. Power going to be the one taking the kind of the whole shot here, going for the double, getting some guaranteed defense and running things out.
Oh, well, hello.
Or not.
I think that was a lag trail. That was. It didn't look like he got hit from like behind. It looked like a lag trail. And I think this course is kind of known for its connection issues sometimes. I don't see who's in last right now. Power's going to opt to go into his Ghost though. NATO is up there in second. It's Thomas in last. A Banana in 12th. Obviously that's not really what you want. Thomas is going to stop for the shock, it looks like a little bit. There's a blue shell in the pocket of Power. Strike is stopping a little bit. The blue's going to be sent out, so that's got to be Worldfriend in first.
Yeah, I would assume so. Blue's kind of hitting a couple people, collecting them. We do know that NATO is up there. Player in first is taking the hit, but good at least item set here from Power if he can chain this and get some more items back in 11th and getting another star in triple shrooms. This will at least help him going forward into this next box at least, and have some power going over the piano section.
Yeah, star and triple shrooms, a classic bread and butter combination in this game. The most common pulls it back, I think. Do you see Valor playing with fire? Oh, that's not even Valor, that's Lanfy, I think it was. Maybe even both, it's hard to see. Do you see someone in a bill right now? I do still think it's a decent amount of Worldfriend in the top though. Because we do see Zinc back here. Power's in 8th, Strike's in 7th. There's a blue, but it looks like it's probably going to be a little bit too late. Strike's going to be taken out, so that's not going to do XI any favors.
I think this is going to slightly favor WF, but I could be wrong depending on how the front went. And that's it right there.
Yeah, 2, 5, 6.
1, 2, 5, 6, and they did have a couple in the back as well. So, you know, very well done by Worldfriend to at least, you know, hang on to the front and prevent, you know, XI from taking over some of their spots. And they're likely going to have a small win after this one.
Yeah, it's a plus 14.
Pretty sizable,
Worldfriend,
relatively speaking, yeah. But good win by them here, and we'll have to see what they end up choosing there with the 1, 2, 5, 6.
Yeah, I can kind of imagine them going Bone Dry Dunes here, if I'm honest, because I do know Worldfriend do like that track with some front presence. We'll have to see though. No, they're gonna go to that's fair enough. They're going to opt for Hyrule again with top 2. Cheeseland on the side of XI with a desert phone in the mix. We are going to go to Cheeseland Like for race number 5, XI have got 48 points to catch up in the next 8 races. It can be done, but they've got to try and stop World Friend from running away with this.
Yeah, so they're up 48 right now here, going into the start here on Cheeseland. Again, if this is anything like how Excitebike went, this could be a good seesaw swinger, or I guess turn of the tide, so to speak, for XI here. But World Friend's looking very poised here in this match, so they're going to have to do a good job, and I think we're going to see, you know, a bag off in the back. But it's very difficult to tell here with these Waluigi's who is exactly back there. We do see Power up there in front. We do know that NATO is kind of in that big cluster of players up at the front as well in that 4th position. And things already shuffling up right now there with Valor, Roble. There's probably a 3-on-2 right now for XI over World Friend.
Yeah, I guess you can say the mini-map is looking a bit like an ant colony right now. We do see a couple of World Friend up here. Now Power's going to stop here. Is that indicating that XI might have a shot? Because we did see Zinc in a star there and nothing was used.
Possibly, because I caught it out of the corner of my eye. It's like Grand Central Station. Oh, there you go.
There's a shock.
Because you saw that some players were moving up, some were moving back, but it wasn't like a collective like movement in unison. So that's how you know, just off of reading the map, if a team has it. So that's a good catch, Squidz. And already here going into the final lap, we're seeing that was Thomas there just getting out of his dodge. Power here in 10th. Likely going to get some power items.
Oh, Bill. Oh, that's a really good pull, considering he's not actually even like super far away from first. He doesn't really get much better than that. A Bill in triple shrooms. So this will take him up
very far.
Yeah, it'll take him to the glider. And then I'll have the triple shrooms to take the double shortcut and just cruise to the end. We do see someone else coming up in the Bill as well. They're going to be in first. I'm not sure who that is. Zink's holding a red. Power's going to get redded by himself, though.
I'll be honest, this is just going to be a drag race.
Oh,
and the air horn as well, and the blue shell coming in. That could have gone any which way, honestly. I mean, these finishes are so close, and by any which way,
for World Friend.
I mean, yeah, that's why I think there was a hesitation there in the air horn. They realized they were all around each other.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really good like offset at the very least for World Friend, with that 1 and the 5 coming in there from XI. So that's going to be, actually no, they got 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was 1-6 for XI, and another +14 win for them. So yeah, I mean this is just going literally all over the place. World Friend's really kind of looking good here with the momentum, and XI just kind of needs another race to kind of get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how important communication is in these wars, because if Mars felt threatened, he could have just very easily used that horn and just murdered his team over the glider, and they'd be sent into the off-road and they'd be forced to hop over the line, and the race would have had completely different results there. But yeah, really good job on the side of World Friend after what we assume was an XI shock as well. XI really needed to take back the momentum on that Cheeseland pick, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like they got what they wanted. And with World Friend getting a Dolphin Shoals pick here, it's not looking fantastic for them.
It's not, yeah, you know, certain things are kind of working out in their favor, and one thing can be track picks. And it's interesting too, because you're talking about communication, you're talking about air horn use, and that's the sign of a good team. Like, you know, it's literally reminding me of situations I was just playing in, but by them kind of getting a sense on in that moment, in a split-second decision, hey, you know what? Let's not just go for it out of even just emotive panic, because everything in that situation can kind of be tense. But you know what? They ended up getting those 4 spots from it. Now clearly translates going into this race. Power here in 7th.
Ooh, that plant. Yeah, that plant as a ghost plant as well. I think it was someone in a ghost who used that plant. It looks quite funny. It's just a floating piranha head. One of my favorite interactions in this game, for sure. Do you see XI bottom 3 though? Thomas is gonna chill out back with Power just to make sure Power doesn't get up to some funny business. Thomas is holding a blue, and from what we can, oh, never mind, it was a boomerang. My bad. Well, it was a blue item.
Yeah, it is very tough in the moment. You know, you're looking at something shiny and you think it might be a shock or a star or even there's another yellow item in my name. It's escaping it. Or it's escaping me right there. But we see a lot of stars here. Power, Thomas. We're going to see the chain come in here from Power here in last with a star and a bullet. So we could see the extension out of him coming up.
Yeah, but
So
no shock though. I think he was hoping to get the shock because it doesn't seem like any of his other team would be getting it. They're stopping on the set. You see, they're trying to get it because it's all XI back here, apart from Thomas, and even Thomas himself's coming up here thanks to the bill extension. There is a blue if there's any compensation, but with all of Worldfriend in the top, it can only do so much.
somebody must have something with the way that they're holding this stuff.
Yeah,
You got to think about that
well.
as well. So unless Power here is trying to chain it, but they have to use, if they have something, basically in the next couple seconds. And don't think they do.
Very nice glider strat coming in for Power, but I think that is a top 3.
I think so too.
For Worldfriend, yeah. Top 3, 5, 8, 11. Yeah, that is going to continue to extend their lead here. We have passed the halfway mark, and I mean, as you can see, it's not looking pretty for XI.
It's not. The only thing you could argue is that the momentum was going into their favor a little bit on Excitebike, but ever since then, it looks like it was regained by Worldfriend. So, yeah, they're going to need to change something, obviously, because they're getting chiseled away every single race to some degree. Even if they're winning, they're coming in heavy with top spots kind of in a cluster. But we're only halfway done. It is possible. They're only down by 2 races, but again, that is a pretty big margin, and we're on pace, if all remained equal, for a 168 pace. But we'll have to see. I mean, a comeback is possible.
It is possible, and obviously we would most certainly love to watch and cast a closer war rather than a blowout. So hopefully XI can pick up the pace just a little bit. But
I'm trying to throw the shade on them. I mean, yes, it's more boring a little bit. Yeah, how does this rank up to others in the past for MKU Primetime? Probably not in the top 10, but we're halfway through. Be optimistic. We're going to Hyrule Circuit.
yeah, it's most certainly a Worldfriend pick. They were picking it a couple of races ago as well. Didn't get it then, but they're getting it now. So obviously with this track is kind of known to be a good front runner. Because there's not that much space to cut off with mushrooms, apart from the start and a little bit at the end.
Correct. Yeah, just those 2 places really. And you're not getting too much of an advantage depending on the item that you have. Obviously, you can take the Nisk, or you can opt to get an extra item here at this portion of the track. But it's going to be Pyrax still holding the lead. Robo and Power there in the 2-3 position. I'm sure we're going to see the X button being used here. Dax as well there for XI, so 2 through 4. And WF is trailing them as well.
Oh, I think Pyrax's green just got stolen as soon as the red came for him there. So that's going to be a top 3 for XI. Valor's going to see if he can do something about it. 4-5 for Worldfriend. In the meantime, do you see last place hopping into a bill? NATO's up in 5th as well, so the top 3-5. Valor's going to get back, so is that a top 4, maybe even a top 5 for XI now? No, never mind. Lanfy is coming in to save the day a little bit for Worldfriend.
Yeah, he was holding on his own there in that 5th position, so he's going to move up, but clearly it looks like the mid-pack of Worldfriend right now, or Worldfriend members that are in the mid-pack, are getting a little bit strung up by XI there. So I am kind of curious. So you're looking at those 2 Waluigis in the back. Looks like an interesting distance to me to where they can get creative with a couple items back there. But watch this.
Dodge. Yes.
Did you see that dive? That's what I mean. If you can call that out, or if you can pick that up off of the queue on the mini map, that was an XI shock. And now here comes the scrum for the final lap for the finish.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. As soon as Second started diving off and Power started doing the same, there's no other reason to why you do that. Meanwhile, there are a couple of Worldfriends still up here. But Power, no, he's going to cost us 3rd, I think. Yeah, top 2-4 still for XI. Thomas is going to sneak into 3rd due to Power, unfortunately, messing up.
But
top
then
2,
8,
4,
8,
9,
9,
10.
And the bottom 3 for Worldfriend. So
bottom 2, I think.
I think it might be bottom 3.
It was 8,
Bottom
9.
two.
It was top 2, 4, 8, 9, 10 for XI. So we're in the bottom two.
Oh, it was 10. Oh, okay, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, I thought they ended 9. I was giving them a little bit more credit than I should.
Now,
but...
the thing is, so that shock, surely it must have been XI's, because obviously
sure.
you saw what happened. But you could also technically consider that it's possible it could have been a World Friend shock, and XI were just going for the ballsiest play of all time, because we did see quite a lot of World Friend come up as well. I think Pyrax dodged in a ghost or something, because when Power rejoined the track, Pyrax is just kind of chilling in second place. So we don't know, but really good play from XI regardless.
That's very fair. I think, honestly, my item theory saves my driving in some cases, and I was more not looking at the nosedive from Power, but more the 2 Waluigis in the back, knowing on the map they were coming up on the box, seeing one had a star, thinking about probability, and then in that situation, that's what ended up happening. So you could have just seen the other team, regardless of whose shock it was, just counterplay that situation effectively.
Yeah. We do see Thomas. It's going to be taken out, but an eye for an eye.
Oh,
Lanvy's going to get taken out, but also Power's then going to be bumped off soon afterwards. So he's going to be stopping at the set. Pyrax is back here as well.
You got to figure that this map, SNES Rainbow Road, has to be favoring World Friend here, given their positions from Hyrule. We're kind of seeing a little bit of an alternation across the board with World Friend, a couple XIs, and you see Thomas in the back there in 11th, NATO up there in about the 5th position or so. So we're seeing Power up here in the boo, and he's at least going back.
Yeah, Thomas in 10th, Vala in 12th. Let's see if Power can get something good. There's a blue shell. Let's see if he opts to... Oh, it's a shock coming from Vala in 12th. Do you see someone dodging in the bill? I think that was Thomas, if I am not mistaken. Could be wrong though. So Power's going to be struggling a little bit in last. That was a Strike in 11th, so bottom 3 for XI, because there's a Roy on the minimap. That's going to be NATO in 10th. So World Friend, thanks to their shock, they're going to be all up there right now at the start of lap 3.
Yeah, this is going to be very important here. You see the bullet come into play from Power, opt to take the cut, and has the star behind. So this is actually going to help him out a little bit, as a lot going on. Players just getting knocked down everywhere. Great hit there. I believe that was on Valor. And now we're at least going to see a 3-4 coming out of here from XI, but they might have gotten somebody up in the top 2, but I think a World Friend guy did it as well. Now it's obviously Pyrax. So we're seeing 2, 3, 4, 8, and beyond there for XI. So, you know, this is going to be kind of a narrow win either way. I didn't catch all the scores at the time, but got to keep in mind that going into this race, there was a 70-point gap.
Yeah, and again, that was really well done by XI, making the best of what they had, because obviously that we know that was a World Friend shock, and there's quite a lot of World Friend who dodged in bills and stars in the mid pack. So World Friend were in a really favorable spot. We did see that bomb going off. It took either 1 or 2 of World Friend out at the end, because it definitely took out Thomas. So XI still being able to get 2, 3, 4 after that shock, really well done from them.
Yeah, it's crazy just seeing, you know, the fact that they still hung on there with the +2, given the shock. Kind of unfortunate for XI, just trying to break into this lead here break into the lead that World Friend has with 4 races to go. But we're seeing a little bit of DKJ, a little bit of Excitebike. We're obviously seeing the DKJ come in from, actually I didn't catch the me in time. I want to say that might have been from the World Friend side. Which makes sense just given their spots with the 1-5, but it's going to be going to Electrodrome for race number 9.
It is, yeah. I think World Friend we're gonna try and capitalize from their 1-5 spots from last race. We're not going to get the track pick though. XI are going to be getting Electrodrome. Electrodrome's kind of known for being a really good drafting track. Power's going to be taken out. So that's going to hinder XI's start here, especially with Strike and Zinc back here as well. And Dax, bottom 4.
There's a lot going on. Red Shell's coming into play there as well. It is interesting because they were all bottoms, how that Red Shell connected with Power. But he is on the pink path here in 10th position, has the triple shrooms. So this is going to at least allow him, if he doesn't opt to chain it here, which he does. He's still going to get some great items here for the cut anyways. Golden Mushroom going into Triple Shroom. So that's going to help him. We do know NATO is in the middle of the pack, likely having a stronghold of World Friend players there at the top. Great little fancy footwork to get away from Swift and the Star here as we head into lap number 2.
Yeah, Lucy Power decided to stop for something here. XI realizing that they're going to need a little bit more if they want to infiltrate World Friend's top spots. You see, I couldn't quite see who that was. I think it was Swift with a crazy 8 in 11th. Thomas is back here now as well. No shock in play just yet. A bill is decent because there is a bill extension. If you use it in the cut here, which both Swift and Power is doing, it's going to take them just after turn 2. We're going to have to watch out for those triple greens though. Who's that?
Yeah, you kind of saw him bob to the left there. That's going to probably be Swift or Pyrax, I think.
It's Dax.
Similar
the blue's going to be broken by World Friend though. This fire's doing work on XI. Power being pumped off. That's not going to help them at all. And I think that was another one of XI being hit off as well. This is not looking good for XI. I'm pretty sure it's still a lot of World Friend in the top. You see NATO in third, but he's going to be overtaken as well. Is this a World Friend top 4?
I think there was a subtle play we didn't call out there. That item screen by Thomas. And it's going to be 4 out of the top 5. Strike was able to get second. But Thomas kind of sacrificed himself in an item screen power there, for that matter. And that was really well done. And World Friend, again, going to get a massive win out of this with 4 of their players in the top 5 and another in the mid-pack. So it's a 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 11 for World Friend, a plus 16 win. And they are back up to the highest margin of the war to plus 88.
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit rough now. 88 points in 3 races. Now, obviously, it is still mathematically possible with a top 6 being plus 40, but 88 in 3 is very, very difficult. I do believe we have seen it done before, but it's not very often you'd see a comeback like this.
They have to be getting top 4s, top 5s, roughly, getting the plus 30 on average for the next 3 races.
And here is where it's got to start on dry desert.
It's a lottery ticket. They're rolling the dice, you know? So we'll have to see.
I feel like they've kind of got to right now.
It worked on Excitebike for them, and then it didn't on Cheeseland because of the 2 through 6 stronghold that World Friend had. But time will tell here. I mean, it's a relatively longer track in my opinion, I like to say. So, or at least given the fact that players are going to be starting and stopping, this race will go a little bit longer. So we'll have to see.
We see Power trying to drag Mars. She's not going to quite connect. Instead, Red's going to connect. I think Mars did get taken out by that Red, unless it was just lag. No, he is back there. You see Bananas and Reds. Everything in the selection going to first place. Triple Shrooms, that is a great pull. In third, there is a blue. Now, I don't know who is in first. It's Pyrax. He's going to be pushing the brakes. Now, luckily, Power has this horn, so hopefully it doesn't get stolen. Oh, it's a shock.
So, when you said pumping the brakes, I immediately thought of, see the gap between first and 12th? That's going to explain a little bit of the disparity in these kind of 3 clusters of the pack that were just formed. If players are moving back, that's when you know a shock will occur. So a lot to look at just from the mini map alone, but that's always a good catch if you're looking and you're predicting a shock.
Yeah, it's interesting how they still... Oh, he couldn't see the banana! The banana from last lap catching Power out because of the blooper. Truly unfortunate. Still a top 2 for XI. Power's going to start playing a little bit dirty. It's not quite going to work out for him. Not being able to get the red off. So now all of a sudden it's going to be a World Friend top 2. A World Friend top 3 now. A star in 5th.
He tried to slow play Pyrax. It didn't work out for him. And I think it might have been Zinc that was beside him and he got hit by Pyrax. So it's funny. The Twitch chat is saying hit Pyrax and it'll be okay. But Pyrax is doing some sorcery stuff right now. I mean, he is literally in every position at once, and clearly he's got a handle on this race.
You see a blue coming in there at the end. This is going to do a lot of damage. Never mind, first is going to be dodging it with a shroom. So they're going to be perfectly fine with first place. Power only having a couple of shrooms to work with. It's not going to be enough to help him get to the top.
He had one shroom because his teammate item screened him.
Oh, that's going to be it. Another... 1, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 1, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be it for World Friend. Zinc and Power trying to go after the same box. I'm not sure if Zinc was actually able to get the box or if they canceled each other out, but that item screen forced Power only with the one shroom. And, you know, it's kind of rough, especially, too, because you know in the back that we saw 2 players coming up with stars. One shroom isn't going to cut it. And unfortunately, this is looking with now this over 100-point lead. Actually, mathematically, this is going to be a World Friend win at this point.
Yeah, automatically, it is going to be it. World Friend being up by over 100 with 2 races to go. The most XI can come back with 2 top 6s is 80 points. So yeah, World Friend is going to be taking it over XI after race 10. We'll have to see if XI can still bring it back to make it at least look respectable. At least make the scores look respectable. Sorry, kind of stumbled on my own words there.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be going the way of Mount Wario here in this one, and kind of curious to see how Excite's gonna respond. I mean, they're out, but they can put up and they can definitely decrease this margin with, you know, potentially like a strong mid pack or like shock play here. So we'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to see as the Toad waves their goodbyes as they all hop from the well, it's not a helicopter, it's a plane. I was about to say helicopter. You see a couple of World Friend back here from the start. Let's see if XI can hold on to these top spots. Power's going to opt to get some money. He's going to go back up to 8 coins now. To see if anyone gets bumped off. It looked like Lanfy may have been bumped off there. Triple greens. Oh, I think he is going to unfortunately hit his teammate at the last possible second. Nato's going to be taken out as well.
Yeah, I was just taking a look too in between the action at the scores. XI going to fall to 1-1 after this. They had a very strong win over Star Clan, 586 to 3 something. But they're going to fall to 1-1. I'm not sure who World Friend faced. I'm kind of more looking at the race right now, but they're going to either be 1-1 or likely 2-0. You would expect the reigning champion for 2 seasons running to be up 2-0 in this situation. Obviously, it might not be, but. And they would have faced Requiem, or they have faced Requiem. They probably haven't posted the result yet because of this match. But yes. Power and Strike here, 3 and 4. Blue's coming into play here. Robo there is in second. Power, wrong place, wrong time, getting clipped there, but it doesn't affect his position. Goes inside to the banana, and this is
no,
getting it out. Wait, why?
That was his teammate who hit him.
That was his teammate.
And there was Vala was being blued as well, so this could have been a perfect opportunity for XI. No, it looks like Power is still hanging on to 4th place just about. Vala's going to be taken out, so that's top 2, top 3 right now, top 4. Someone got into
had somebody up there. Yeah, Thomas. But again, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. That is going to be a winning race for XI.
Yeah, most definitely.
So that'll narrow the margin. I think for them, just for bragging rights or glory's sake, you know. 22 now they're minus 82 overall, down 22 for the race. So, you know, just staying within the double digits here and really kind of making things go well for them. Big Blues coming into play here from XI. WF a little bit more strategic, probably waiting on their pick, discussing it over. We see another player going Big Blue.
Yeah, you see, Big Blue has actually been a much more common track recently, I feel like. At the start of MK8D, you'd never see it at all. In fact, just both F0 tracks, you wouldn't see them at all. But Big Blue has been started to show up a lot more than it used to, which I'm happy for. It's a good track.
It has. That would be actually something that'd be kind of cool. Like I'm an analytics and stats guy. Like kind of knowing over time, I wish there was a way to track it of what the track pick trends are over the course of seasons or over the course of weeks in a season, even. Because I think Big Blue and even Hyrule Circuit, two that have been very popular for running, a lot more recently, and obviously Big Blue more for bagging and being a wild card pick.
Yeah, and I know at the start of this stream, when I tuned in on Twitch very briefly, we did hold a poll in chat to see who would take it, and unfortunately, as much as I want to, I don't think there's a way I can get the results up. I think the results may have only been temporary. Yeah, I do see someone saying that XI do usually pick Big Blue Race 12, which I never knew personally.
I don't know. My only experience against XI is since Shine Thief, and obviously very different nature than 6v6 Mario Kart, so can't really compare the two. But that was a small little pause. I think obviously Power, they're trying to go for the chain. Baylor, Mars, Swift, they're all in the back. They might be trying to concoct something here. They're holding on to a dodge there. You can see Lanfy is, but I haven't really been paying attention. Oh, there we go. To see, and they were all predicting each other. It was a Mexican standoff for the.
It was, yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
Shots quite common there.
Climaxing up there to that specific point. Great position here for Power. You might pick up the win after that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't. There's a bomb going off. He's gonna have to watch out to not hit his teammate, I think. Try and not hit Robel. He did get taken out anyway, though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, so 1, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12 for XI there. So I think it's a small win for them, small loss for WorldFriend, but it doesn't matter. WorldFriend does win the match.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the final official score here of 533 to 451.
Yeah, staying at 82, plus 82 for WorldFriend. That was a tie race, that Big Blue. But yeah, it does look like around 80% of you in chat were correct in voting, saying that WorldFriend were going to take it over XI. The reigning champions, looks like they are on track. They've got a good start here. Possibly a 2-0 week 1. Can they make it 3 seasons in a row? Well, obviously, we'll have to find out in the next upcoming weeks. But yeah, to all those who are watching, thank you very much for sticking around. Any closing comments tonight?
Yeah, not too many. I mean, thanks for sticking around. WorldFriend's off to a hot start here in the first season. And basically, yeah, the other thing I would just say is if you're watching us from juke.gg, thanks again for tuning in. We're going to be back again next week at 4 p.m. Eastern, that time for another featured match. But yeah, I'm really just kind of curious. I mean, I'm an MKU fantasy. I want to see some of the other scores. So definitely want to get to that and kind of call it here for the day. And see you guys all again next week.